Hi everyone, and welcome back to week 16 of the 2012 NFL season. I went 1-3 with my ATS picks again. You know, if the airplane carrying the San Diego Chargers was flying through the air and hit the airplane carrying the Pittsburgh Steelers dead on, I'd probably never lose another wager in the NFL. Okay, here are the picks. First game we're going to look at, Atlanta is going to Detroit, where the Lions are 3.5-point dogs at home. You know, the Falcons still haven't clinched first spot in the NFC, and if they lose this game and the following game next week, and Green Bay and San Francisco win out, they'll drop to third spot in the NFC, and they'll lose their bye. You know, they have Tampa Bay next week, so Tampa can play the part of the spoiler, and you know, they don't want to be in that situation. The Lions, let's face it, they've packed it in. They've lost, what, 6 games in a row, including last week to the Arizona Cardinals, who had lost 9 in a row. Take Atlanta -3.5. The second game we're going to look at has Indianapolis going to Kansas City, where the Chiefs are 6.5-point dogs at home. Right now, Kansas City sits dead last in the NFL with their 2-12 record. They're tied with Jacksonville, but because they've lost more games in the conference, they actually get the tiebreaker, and they'll be picking first in the NFL draft if they continue to lose. There might not be any blue chip quarterback prospects in this year's draft, but there are going to be some quarterbacks available for them next year. You know, Joe Flacco becomes a free agent in Baltimore. I'm sure San Francisco is not going to keep Alex Smith as a backup, paying him, what, $14 million a year or whatever it is. Michael Vick is probably going to be free. Even Mark Sanchez would be an upgrade. So with a good quarterback and a good pick, or maybe they could trade it down for a couple of picks, I think Kansas City here has nothing to play for. You know, they've only scored 7 points in their last 2 games. Indianapolis has, that would mean that Indianapolis would only have to score about 14 points to beat them, and to cover the spread rather, and Indianapolis has scored at least 14 in every game this year except for 1. So let's lay the points. Take Indianapolis -6.5. The third game we're going to look at has Washington Redskins going to Philadelphia, where the Eagles are 6.5-point dogs. The Redskins really surprised everyone last week, winning with their other rookie quarterback, Kirk Cousins. But now you're asking Washington to win back-to-back on the road. And so far, they're 0-2 this year doing that, and they have to give up points. This is probably the swan song for Eagles head coach Andy Reid in Philadelphia. He's probably not coming back. Someone is going to say, let's do it for Andy. And you remember what happened with Andy's son dying just before the season started. You know, the Eagles have a chance to play a bit of a spoiler role here. It's the only game this week where there's 2 divisional opponents where one of them can really play the spoiler. I think that's what might happen here. They may not win, but that's a high price to pay. Take Washington +6.5. And the fourth game has my Minnesota Vikings going to Houston, where the Texans are 7.5-point favorites at home. Both teams want to win this game, but Minnesota really needs this one badly, as they're in 6th place in the NFC. A loss here and a couple of other things, and they'll be looking out of the playoff picture. You know, I can only say 3 words about Minnesota. Adrian freaking Peterson, who seems to have been getting stronger every week, probably will run for 200 yards, should keep this game close. It's over that magic touchdown, that 7-point number, so that could be a bit too many points. Take Minnesota +7.5. Okay, what I'd like to do right now is just take a moment to thank my sponsor, who has been helping me all these years with these videos, and with whose help I couldn't do these videos. Beer. Any brand, anytime. Oh, yes, guy. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the 4 over-under plays. The first game we're going to look at has Tennessee going to Green Bay, where the number is 46. You know, Tennessee's only played 1 over in their last 5 games, and Green Bay has played 5 straight unders. So you know what? Let's take under the 46. The second game has San Francisco going to Seattle. That number is 39. At the beginning of the year, you might have just penciled this one in automatically as an under. Not so much anymore. Seattle's thrown over 100 points on the board in their last 2 games. And with Colin Kaepernick at quarterback in San Francisco, they've been really racking up the numbers themselves. I think Seattle's had 4 straight overs, and San Francisco, I believe, 5 of their last 6 games have gone over. So that's what we'll do. We'll take over the 39. The third game we're going to look at, and we talked about that earlier, Indianapolis is at Kansas City. That number is 41.5. I mentioned how Kansas City has really struggled to score points the last couple of weeks. Well, remember a couple of weeks ago, after that tragedy where the linebacker killed his girlfriend and then killed himself, it was Belcher, they scored 27 points in that game. But if you took that game away, of the 9 games combined, except for that one, Kansas City has only scored something like 80 points, which is under 9 points a game. And so let's take the under 41.5. And the fourth game we're going to look at has New Orleans at Dallas. That number's pretty high. It's 51.5. New Orleans has thrown a ton of points in their last game, so over 90. And Dallas has played 5 of their 7 games at home over the number. So let's take over 51.5. All right, I'm just going to move over here, and here are my straight up plays. And well, if you've been taking my picks all year, sorry about that, but I have survived another week in my suicide pool. So let's talk about some of the games that, for those of you who are still alive. Green Bay hosts Tennessee. We talked about that one earlier. The Packers are 12.5 point favorites here. I don't see them losing this game at all. They still have a lot to play for, a better seed in the first round. So you could take Green Bay. New England's at Jacksonville. That's, I think, the highest spread, 14.5 or so. You know, New England has probably been responsible for more people being eliminated in their playoff pools than any other team. You know, they lost at home, and usually I don't like to put money on a team that lost at home now, but yeah, they'll probably beat Jacksonville, who are just horrible. And the game that I'm going to be taking is Denver's at home to Cleveland. The Broncos are about 13-point favorites. I think they'll win this game easily. So my suicide pick is going to be Denver. Okay. Good luck to all of you. Those are my picks. You know, it's still not too late to nominate a video or a prognosticator for a GeoKnows award. So you can still do that by leaving a message in the notes underneath the video, or even PMing me. And please subscribe to my channel. I'm almost at 250 subscribers so far. And follow me at Twitter at GeoKnows. Okay, for the GeoKnows channel, I am Geo. I'd like to wish you a Merry Christmas, and let's take the man's money.